Hello there, everyone, and guys, quite honestly, I'm quite a bit shocked right now. For one, well, we're seeing some kind of momentum to the downside right now in Bitcoin, but what was very important today, and was the PCE data, that was a primary gauge for inflation for Fed, which drives the decisions on interest rates from Federal Reserve, and it just came out. And that's why we're seeing quite a big drop in S&P 500 right now, and also Dixie is actually going up. It is actually going into this parabolic run phase, and Bitcoin isn't really dropping that very much, which is positive. But let's get into the PCE data, because I cannot believe my eyes right now. Honestly, guys, I don't even have any emotions at this point. Comment down below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and comment. Tell me, is this a mistake? Because previous one was 6.4, they adjusted it. It was supposed to be, it was 4.4 previously, and now they readjusted it, and now it's 4.6. Forecast was 4.3, which is the most important thing, really, and it came in at 4.7. So we saw an increase in inflation. So forget about deflation, forget about inflation actually going down, it's actually going up. This is something that is not just surprising, guys and girls, this is something scary. 4.7, it's not, look by how much we just missed the forecast. And if we're going to look at that one was a core one, and this is the main one. So previous was 5.3, I guess they adjusted it, and it came in at 5.4. I guess this should be the end of the story right now, because inflation is not just sticky, it's going up. It's not going down, even though we didn't see any kind of a huge change in terms of the energy cost, in terms of the oil. So let's find the oil. And here it is, so $75. So basically nothing has changed. We're still in this pattern in terms of the energy costs. So this is, so it's basically still is kind of in this diamond pattern. Guys, this is quite frankly very bad news. So for this reason, I actually have my short open over on Bybit. And it is a $213,000 short, so it's a 9 Bitcoin short right now, pretty much at a break even. And what I personally see this as, there has to be a continuation of this move. As we were saying, it's actually pulling down now. So inflation officially is quite bad. It is very bad. And also, if we'll take a look at S&P 500, and also, guys, by the way, just to tease you a bit, we're going to do this today. But anyway, who cares about that? Because if we're going to take a look, let's remove the volume. We're going to see that we're also breaking this support from the purple support in S&P 500. And also, we're going to be retesting this resistance, the yellow one, which is very important right now. If we break down below and go back into the vicinity of this wedge, the door is going to be open to 3,500 in S&P, and seeing this PCE data. I'm usually very emotional, very fast like this talking, but this is quite scary, and this could be the moment as that actually I was talking about in so many of my previous videos, that this could be just a giant fake out. And oh no, this one, let's go to this one. And that as of right now, we're just gonna see nothing but continuation to the downside, and then retest maybe this area of 20K. So for this reason, I want to keep my short trade for the time being. Certainly, if we're going to take a look at the technicals, we were preparing somehow. We're still in this pattern. So we have this very important support at 23,600, which is basically, once it's broken, then the next target is going to be 23,000, 22,700, 22,300, basically then 21,500, and etc. So, but these are not going to be as relevant. It's all one order block, really. So the next few hours really going to be the most important, because seeing this kind of terrible inflation is going down. Everything that Fed has been doing with the speed at which they were increasing the interest rates, we already saw not a very good CPI reading, and this one is even worse. This shows that inflation is simply going up, guys. Wow, this is really, for me, and of course, as we were saying, that Dixie is just out of control, is just rallying, and everything else is pretty much going down. So there's also something interesting I wanted to mention, which is not really helping the cause right now, and that's the IMF. And IMF is calling for coordinated action over fears that crypto could undermine global monetary system. Basically, what is IMF? And IMF is this International Monetary Fund. It's a global thing. 190 countries are participating in it, and oftentimes IMF went after El Salvador when it made Bitcoin legal tender. And what they do usually, they say, okay, you're going to do this and this, and then maybe we'll give you some money. So they're trying to control the world and the banking system, etc. So now IMF is coming out with this, regulatory recommendations and stuff. So as they say here, that the widespread adoption of crypto assets could undermine the effectiveness of monetary policy, circumvent capital flow management measures, and exacerbate fiscal risks. So they're starting to talk more and more about the actual risks. So directors, which is worth to note, I guess, directors generally observed that while the supposed potential benefits from crypto assets have yet to materialize, significant risks have emerged. And they were arguing that crypto should not be granted official currency or legal tender status. So there were quite a few things they were talking about, but this was the most important aspect, that they don't want to see countries adopting Bitcoin. Of course, they don't want to see it because potentially they could see it as a competitor that they would actually have to start fighting and compete, and they cannot compete with Bitcoin because it's just so much more superior to any fiat currency out there. So while the directors agreed, and at least this is some kind of a positive side, that strict bans are not their first option, but even though a few directors actually said that outright bans should not be ruled out. And IMF cited concerns it had about the impact of crypto on financial stability, financial integrity, legal risks, consumer protection, and market integrity in general. It discussed a framework of 9 elements that could help the member countries develop a comprehensive, consistent, and coordinated policy response, whatever. So out of all these 9 points, the most important ones were actually had a lot to do with safeguarding the monetary sovereignty and stability by strengthening monetary policy frameworks, and not to grant crypto assets official currency or legal tender status. And this is what we've seen in so many countries already happening, and a lot of countries are actually consider, especially the ones that are being hurt the most by devaluation of the petrodollar, so that when dollar loses value, Americans print more money, and therefore the countries also are forced to print more money. So it just devalues their currency while the dollar stays the dollar, So it's therefore they're very inclined to actually entertain the possibility of exiting into Bitcoin, or actually welcoming a brand new world reserve currency. So that's what IMF could potentially try to prevent here, and included guarding, one of the things they were also saying, that guarding against excessive capital flows, adoption unambiguous tax rules. So they were talking about adopting some tax rules, so they want to tax it, which is fine really, and laws around crypto assets, and developing and enforcing oversight requirements for all crypto market actors. So basically, countries also should establish international arrangements to enhance supervision and enforcement regulations, as well as set up ways to monitor crypto impact on the stability of global market system. So they were talking about quite a few things, but in general it worries me because IMF and BIS, they are actually starting to go, and SEC as well, starting to go after crypto more and more and more. And one thing that I really wanted to also mention in this video is something, the token that you really have to pay attention to is Optimism, because it's part of my portfolio. I made a video about Optimism before, actually when the price was lower, I think. And it's actually a very cool project itself. You can go to the Optimism's website, you can check them out. I'm not affiliated with them. The only thing, full disclosure, I own Optimism. So, well, some tokens, I mean. And in general, for me, it's a huge layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, and that's why, they have huge market cap already, like $700 million, but they actually pumped, it has actually pumped 16% after Coinbase has actually announced the layer 2 platform launch. So actually, upon launching its own layer 2 solution, Coinbase said it would contribute to open source development on the Optimism stack as well. So basically, Coinbase is going out and they're creating this huge entity in the crypto space, which is called the Base. So this is going to be also layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. And they will, by the way, you can not even Google it, they're not going to have their own token, but it's quite huge for Coinbase in general, and certainly for Optimism, because this is what they're also partnering up with. So if you're interested in some interesting tokens, take a look at Optimism. Now, one more thing before we move back to the chart and talk about this crazy PCE reading. Just to, on a good note, Montana, one of the states in the United States, actually passed a bill to protect Bitcoin and crypto mining rights. So at least that's, on a good note. And India actually surpassed with having 6th largest crypto ownership globally, despite the threats of the ban. So people understand that they have to get into it before it's too late, because of all the reasons as to why the IMF and BIS and SEC is going after crypto, simply because it is the future. So when people understand this, and in India, despite the ban, they're becoming the 6th highest crypto ownership in the whole world, which is just huge in my opinion. It just shows the conviction of the retail sector and also in institutionals as well, quite frankly. But now, if we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin price again, it's not dropping just as of yet tremendously, but again, we have very important support. So for me, for this trade that I have right now open, if it's going to just suddenly pump, for example, above 24K, I'll just close it. But will I open a long trade? I don't know, I'll see. I just want to understand the narrative, if it's going to pump from here, and especially if S&P 500 is going to pump from here with this PCE reading. That just let me refresh this. No, I mean, it's correct. They didn't make a mistake. I don't see how any high-risk asset could actually rally at this point. That's why I have a short trade open, but I'm certainly going to make another video for you guys with an update as to what I'm doing, because this, for me, as of right now, is a huge signal that everything is pretty bad in the economy in general. So, I mean, call me crazy, but this is just, I'm reading the numbers just like you are. Okay, so now is the time for us to get to the Rolex giveaway, because I have one last Rolex to give away to you guys. It's a sub. I have given away already 2 of these, and I have one last one left. And previously, the guys who won this, because I've given it away twice, this one, the last one, and guys didn't have the minimum requirement, which is $100 in their Bybit account. So the only thing for you to participate, the only thing you have to do, even if you already have a Bybit account, you have to go down into the description of this video, sign up with Bybit, and move your money to this new account once you used my link, or create a new account. If you don't have a Bybit account, it's a great exchange, very convenient and very competitive commissions, and it's very safe. It's big. It doesn't have any stupid thought about it. And if you can get up to $30,000 in deposit bonuses, and again, as I said, if you deposit and keep more than $100 in your account and you're an active trader, then you automatically enter into a Rolex giveaway. Also, if you deposit more than $500, you'll get my famous paid crypto course for absolutely free, sent to your email within 3 days. And all deposited users also get access to my famous crypto signal community, 30,000 traders in there, guys, and we post really cool trades. So, and there's also a link to it down in the description of this video, and you get access to all of this by simply using my link to Bybit and being a Bybit trader. So now let's give away this Submariner. So this is all the users. So let's go 16206, 16206. Generate the random one, 8,703. 8,703. Let's go. Let's find it. 8,703 right there. So if you're the owner, congratulations, the owner of the UID 288917995, then congratulations, you are the winner of this Rolex right here. All you have to do is within the next 5 hours, send us an email to info@thomaskrallo.com from your registered email that is associated with this Bybit UID. And we know every single email of these UIDs, so don't try to send us stupid fake emails. It's not gonna work, and it's just not nice. So yeah, in general, guys, tell me what do you think about the markets down in the comments, because this is, I mean, quite crazy. Let's see how the market reacts once actually the US market opens in about a few minutes, actually. All right, peace and love. Thomas Krallo. Stay smart, stay rich, and I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.